he's going to join us today.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks.
It's already 5 minutes past the hour. I feel like the grace period should not be extended too much further than that.
Yeah, that's true. So we are now entering sprint 11. And as usual, let's check anything pending from past sprint and move tasks to the new one. Let's go first with you, Bear, if you want. I see some here that are already done, and then there's these. Maybe you want to give an update or.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So the ones that are still in progress are the role tiering, that I might as well change its title because it's been more about documenting kind of like the changes of the overall team structure. A lot of changes have been happening lately. I still had a really good call with Nate actually yesterday, and trying to better define the events lead role, and all of this work still needs to get documented. So I'm hoping to get this done during this week, hopefully. And there's that, but that's just the only thing that we're missing, the documentation and being able to reflect these changes in the Notion page about the coordination team, and then that should be able to get completed. Then is the project plans of the fiduciary stewardship project. I've been having great progress on that. I'm hoping to have that ready to be shared for a first round of feedback either today or tomorrow, probably. They are just kind of like high level plans on this first version, so we can come to consensus basically on the objectives and on the things that we want to cover with the project. So that also gonna get completed pretty soon. And then is the Gitcoins payment. That's also gonna get completed probably today. And yeah, that's basically it on my side.
Cool. Thanks. Didn't check if okay. Both are already on sprint 11, so that's cool. Now we can go with you, Gideon.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, these are all pretty much active. Incubation program planning. I have not done diddly on that. I got to start that. So I think that I'm just going to put down some initial thoughts on that, and then I think what I'd like to do is probably then put that out async to this crew and then also to TCAN, and then start to get some feedback from like maybe Jess and Jeff and maybe the bonding curve, some of the other folks in bonding curve research, and then I think it would also be good to get some feedback from the inverter crew. So anyway, that's still active. I pushed it into this coming sprint as well, so I want to keep working on that. Let's see. Can you clear that one so I can see what the other ones are? So the promote community call, still waiting. Actually, Nate, I'm waiting on you for that, and also YGG. So basically, we just need some of the details on like what that's going to look like. This I would highlight as flashing red light. We got to get this nailed down ASAP. Otherwise, we're not going to have enough time to promote it. And then this will be kind of like where we were in the past. So that one's urgent.
Is there anything you need specifically for the promotion materials for this?
Well, yeah, like we need to know where it's going to be. Is this going to be, I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be on Discord, but we probably need to set up like, is this going to be one of those, what do you call them? Like is it just like a regular Discord call, or are we going to try doing the, I can't remember what it's called right now, but this other thing that they have on Discord, the community calls. Ah, shit. You know what I'm talking about. It's the other type of call that you can do.
The channel.
Yeah. Right now we have a test one that's called Community Calls Channel. So, so need to know that. But also just kind of like, what is it? What's the format? I feel like we should know what it is that this. Do I pitch this? Do we pitch this as like really about quadratic funding, and then there's updates on like what's going on with the community, or is it more like the old style community call? That's the part that we just really need to nail.
Yeah, that sounds good. I think this is kind of an exception to the rule. One, because I do think that the requirements that YGG and Isaac mentioned before in terms of presenting for the community, that Discord was kind of the main place to hold that. But in terms of the community call ongoing, I'm not sure if Discord is the right move. And so, yes, I think that this one is a little bit different than what may be the regular reoccurring community call that happens month by month.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be just like a good. Okay, so if we can then just nail down what this if this one is like specifically about what Sean is doing, and that's like 45 minutes of the call, or I don't know, like 30 minutes of the call, then like what's the other part that is in there? Who's going to do that part? I mean, we can start promoting it. I could just promote it based on the quadratic funding stuff, and then not really not really mention that much about the community updates part. Maybe just do a passing thing. Should we just do that?
I think so. The way I had it in my mind was that we would have, a very small amount of time to actually provide updates, and maybe each of the coordination team actually shares one area that we want to engage with the community on. Things like announcements, updates, token engineering grant round, the status of, and kind of the bigger picture visions of like whether it may be the migration or anything else that we want to mention within a monthly, periodic announcement. And so I think this is, it doesn't have to take a lot of time. It's just a quick update, and then we can have the interview start with Isaac and YGG right after that, and then we can, if there's time left over, then we just have a Q&A with YGG regarding the quadratic funding.
Okay.
If I can just interject for a minute, something that's always worked well in the past is just having, it can be a simple document. It doesn't have to be an entire deck where everyone knows what their responsibility is in terms of presenting and in what order they're going to do it. So even, it doesn't have to be as fancy as there's the kind of deck that we used to use, but maybe if there's at least a document that everyone has access to, and the, simple high level script of the agenda for the community call and how it'll play out would be helpful for everyone. I also was wondering, I also am totally in the dark of what it's going to be like. I'm excited about it, but I think it'll be, I think it'd be great if everyone sort of had an idea of what to expect, and especially what's expected of each of us or everyone.
I do have a active live document for the running script for the community calls.
Oh, cool. Where is it? You always are so prepared.
I will share it in the chat.
Cool. Well, let's move on. So this is that. Gideon made a group chat. Hi, Griff, by the way. A group chat with YGG, Nade, Gideon, and I to finish with these details and coordinate how we're going to make it. So we probably can just finish the conversation there. Then there's also this task, Gideon, of the Grants Round sponsorship, which I believe it's almost complete, but
Yeah, so this is I think pretty much done. What I've got a draft deck. I think I was talking to Isaac about this today. I think probably the best thing to do would be to send this. I mean, I'd love to get some feedback from y'all about particularly pricing and the tiering. Um, I won't go into the details right here, but I think it would be good to start to get this in front of like Jess and Jeff maybe, and then a few other folks who are friendly potential sponsors to see what their feedback is. Like, see if we can get some feedback on like, hey, how would you change this? Or how would, does this seem like this would be a compelling pitch? And then, is this something that Block Science would be up for sponsoring, in one of these levels, just to kind of like get the last round of feedback on this. I think that it's probably good enough. It's clear enough. The link is in there. I sent it out earlier this morning, my time. But the thing that I think is a separate task that we're going to need to work on in this coming sprint is the actual outreach itself. And because I don't think that that's going to be done in this next sprint, and I will be gone after that. So we're going to need to talk about how we're going to get that done.
okay. Sorry, I got distracted. Okay. And then the other ones are completed, so that's fine. Joseph, you just had the Premier Community Call, which is also, we just chatted about it. I don't know if you want to add something, but if not, I'll just continue.
Yeah, you can just continue. I've got nothing to add.
Okay. For me, I had a few other tasks that I already moved to the next sprint. I'll chat about them later. But these are mostly things I'm working with Tem on the process for upcoming rounds. That these I'll get done between today and tomorrow. I'll get completed, and then I'll get some feedback. But I'll do as much as I can between today and tomorrow. And then there's this project stuff that it's also ongoing. Last week I gave I showed what I was working on as far as Notion in the structure, and now it's more about just really taking everything that's on the now TEC roadmap down onto Notion for us to work on. Now it's we went with Bear already. Then it's Unite.
Yeah, I believe I have 3 within the sprint. The community call planning, which is, we went over a little bit. It's still in progress. I will be moving into the next sprint, as well as the community events planning. I have the community call as part of that, but there are more plans that actually have spaces on a recurring basis each month to keep engaged with the token engineering community, as well as looking at other joint events with other organizations. So that's in my plans for that. I will have a finished document by the end of this week for the events planning. The third one is the convert migrate over some of the stuff from Gitcoin or Gitbook into a new document and update that information. That is still in progress. I have shared that link with some of you already, and I will be continuing that into the next sprint as well. And I believe that is all on my list, unless you see something else, Andy. Is there another item?
No, that seems to be all. Give me just 1 second, because I think I moved mine. I moved some, but not all. Then after Nate is you, Tam. If you want to give any update, 1 second. Okay, I'm done with my stuff. Okay.
Yes, I'm just gonna turn this over and that's it. So mine are again pretty much the same. And while I try to adjust my screen. Okay, hold on. I just so this is in progress. This is around if you click inside the scope of what it would take to migrate to TEC, there's the evaluation document in there that I'm using as sort of a place where I'm putting key dates. Really a lot of the technical things is what I'm delving into with SEM. Last sprint we did. Tomorrow morning we have another call to go over specifically the technical considerations for what a migration would need. So I'll continue to update that. There's also the converting the project prospectus, which NT and I made good progress on last week. We just changed our 1 hour meeting to 2 hour meetings, 2 hours this week, because I think we can just finish it. It's really about aligning the prospectus with the like what the coordination team is working in based on the proposal, and then mapping out a roadmap from that. So the proposal is sort of what's happening this, next quarter, and then what's in the prospectus that isn't in the proposal will happen further on the horizon. You can start to sort of look. You can see how we started to map things out in the roadmap section under Welcome to TEC Sprints, but now we can actually break that down into something more logical that we can then add to the sprint board. So the objective for this is the prospectus, the funding proposal will end up having a roadmap, and then pieces on an actual pieces or broken down into projects and milestones on the sprint board. Supporting the Scrum process, that's just pretty much ongoing. I don't even know if it needs to be in here anymore, but I leave it in there as a reminder to myself. And then, oh man, I feel so blocked with the advisory network. After this last round, there's still a lot more information. I really thought it would be done last week. I posted on the forum last week, but in our last call on last Tuesday, there was just so much good feedback, and I haven't had a chance to really incorporate it yet. So I'm expecting this week, not just this sprint, but I'm expecting to be able to work on it. I hope Thursday morning I have some time blocked, and then it will be posted on the forum. But that's taking more time than I really expected it would, actually, to be honest. Yeah, that's it. So those are the main things I'm focused on.
Thanks. And then, then it's you, Sean.
Yeah. Sorry, maybe I can add something actually, because I asked Sean and Rex if they could work on doing a data analysis project for the TEC token. Specifically, like, how did the ABC perform compared to other impact tokens? So there's a small scope of work that they have been sort of, chipping away at. And that's sort of something that I keep an eye on, and, we just have a DM channel where we talk about it.
Okay, so you said that's
Oh, you don't have to do a new issue. I'll write it. No, NT, you can keep going. I'll write it. I'll add it.
Okay, thanks. Cool. Then it was you, Sean. 1 second, because we were looking at the past sprint just to move anything, but your stuff is, more ongoing, so that's fine. Let's start this sprint with you, Sean. I don't know if you want to give any update on the past sprint or what's coming up for this new one.
Sure, yeah, thanks. Yeah, continuing to develop the tunable QF tool. What we have coming up in this sprint is connecting with the Gitcoin team with both their product and their research team. So we'll have 2 different meetings there. There's going to be the community call next week to present this work. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. The community calls in this sprint. Nice. Cool. Then we can. Oh yeah.
And I think did I see something about the blog posts on the last sprint?
Yeah. Yeah, well, because of the conversation we had the other day, I checked it for, I think, sprint 12 or something like that, just for later. But I don't know if you plan to start working on it now.
All I was gonna say is maybe it's a bit of a separate item, which is the QF Explorations Charter, which the document that you put together, and we've had some inputs from Gideon. So I think that's something I want to focus on this sprint. Is yeah, sort of bringing that to like a sort of milestone state, like a kind of completion, so that we can get feedback, internal feedback, and make sure that we're all synchronized on like what we're building. And I think this document also, this QF Explorations Charter, is going to be, it's going to make the blog post really easy, because I think the blog post could kind of spin right out of this document. So yeah, I'll be working on this document this sprint, and yeah, the community call, this document, and that's mostly, I think that's mostly it for me. And yeah, I've been working with Tam on some of the TEC token price data, Tam and Rex.
Nice. Yeah, I added the charter onto this exact task because it's part of the project. I guess for some context for everyone else, we're writing a document with some information about the QF tool and some research we're doing around it, because we have scheduled some meetings with Gitcoin, and we plan to go as well with the Ethereum Foundation and Radical Exchange, or in all the players that are big on quadratic funding, to see if there's any chance they may want to contribute in some form to the application, whether or the research, whether it's monetary or just spending time and giving feedback or whatever. So that's that. Cool. Thanks. Now we can go with you, Bear, because you have to go earlier. If you want to give any additional update on what you like, we saw last sprint. If you want to add anything to this new one, or
Yeah, it's kind of like basically the same thing. I've just added the tech support notion. This is something we are retaking right now with Rex. That's also basically completed. I think it's just about finalizing the actual document and just transferring to Notion as well. So I'm hoping to get that done with him this week as well. And besides that, these are the same things like the project plans on the fiduciary stewardship. Once the first round of feedback is completed, I like to take some time also to start crafting more the different tasks and the different milestones to be achieved within that project, and kind of like work on a timeline backwards from the from the time in which we would like to have this project completed backwards, so then it's easier to start planning and tracking the coming sprints and progress on that specific project. And then, yeah, like I mentioned, the Gitcoins payment, it's gonna get completed today, and the documentation for the changes in the team structure, it's also something that I'll be working on this sprint. Besides this, I think I'll be able to have some capacity. That's also one of the reasons why I didn't want to add many more things. To be able to be available for anything required for the community call first, any work that needs to get done there, as well as for taking care of any of the work or the things that Gideon might be preparing for when he leaves, to be available for that as well. But yeah, if there's anything else that people think that I should take on, please let me know.
Cool. I mean, I don't know if Nate or you, Gideon, have something in mind. There's a few things I would love to have some help with, but I know the community call and some more stuff may be more critical right now.
Yeah, there's some smaller things, but I think Sean's proposal is going to need to go up for vote. That's not a ton of work, but probably needs to get done. We also, I mean, we'll come back to this later, but while I'm away, we're going to need some coverage for tweeting on the TC Twitter account. So I don't know if that fits here or not, Bear. Yeah, let's come back to that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we can talk about it later. But yeah, I mean, if it's something that needs to get done, I don't have any problem on taking on that. But yeah, we can further talk about it later.
Okay. I do have something that maybe if you want 1 second. This one. So we had 3 tasks in here. I took 2, but maybe, well, not, those are not too complicated, so it's fine. But for example, if there's extra capacity, we don't have to do this on this sprint, but it would be nice to start forming the advisory group for grants. Like, just start to think about who, when, how. I was thinking that this may be a better fit for anyone that was kind of already involved with the TEC. So maybe you want to take it, but again, not critical.
Yeah, I think I could take it as kind of like a touch point, like a contact point, because I think this is going to be super related with kind of like Tom's proposal of the TEC and this new token engineering advisory group. I think, or as far as I understand, that could be some of the tasks that could fall into that new forming group. And Tam has already been doing some work on trying to identify some of the people there. But yeah, definitely there's still gonna be some work there to be done in terms of reach out and maybe organizing stuff a bit more. And but yeah, like in summary, yes, definitely I can be the responsible on that one.
I do feel like these are 2 very different things, though. TCAN and the advisory group for grants are. I just think that I don't know if you're trying thinking that it should be the same types of people or the groups of people, but I do think that these 2 things should be very distinguished from each other.
Well, it's just that I think maybe again I'm misunderstanding, but at least what I understood from Tom's proposal is that if you go through it, there's this like strategy advisory group and this token engineering advisory group, both being part of the TCAN, and then having this token engineering advisory group being focused more on token engineering tasks, right? Would be formed by people like, I think it was Jeff, Sargam. I'm not exactly sure if YGG, but people more involved in the actual field. And we were thinking that it could probably be a really good fit to have that people help out with the grants round. I don't know again if that's still the case, but I can follow up on this, and this is definitely a conversation that is worldwide having with the TEC group on Friday. But yeah, that's kind of like what I get from right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Isaac.
just very quickly, I guess the task is precisely to define this, so like whatever it looks like, the definition of done for this task is just to have something that clears what's that this advisory group and where does it come from. That
Yeah, and I was just going to say, Isaac and I were talking about this earlier today. It could be that over this next 3-month period with this next grants round, we just form like an ad hoc or temporary group as like a V1 of, a group of people that, it's a very defined set of commitments. So I think part of the job is like, what's the commitment? How frequently will it meet? How much time? What is it that we're asking? And use it as kind of a deliberate experiment to just see what it's like to have one of these TCAN groups that's focused on a specific area, and then maybe then feedback whatever that learning is into the bigger process that Tam is working on. Because I think what Tam was thinking earlier was that we would get like a group of token engineering folks who would form that network, and then different parts of the TEC could then tap that network of people as needed. So the grants program would be one group that might be able to tap that expertise, and then there might be other folks who need it as well. So that's just one thought. But yeah, basically, I think Isaac is right. This is like defining, we're kind of using this to kind of define what good looks like here.
cool. Okay, let's continue then. Up here we have you, Joseph.
Sorry, Isaac, just
got-
super quick.
Yep, sorry.
Super quick on the YGG's funding proposal. Sorry, Gideon, maybe this is something I'm missing. So you're planning to have the kind of like the coordination team to put that one for votes? Just for clarification.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a question. Maybe this is more for Sean, if he needs help with putting that up.
Yeah, I would like help. I'm not sure if I know all the details of putting that up. So I think that sounds pretty easy. Like maybe Bear, maybe you and I can just hop on and like do that together at some point.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. Yeah, similar to what Isaac did with me. He helped me out to go through the process. We can definitely do that. Yes. Okay, I get it now.
Okay, cool.
Okay, nice. If you guys need any help, let me know as well. I was okay. Yeah, Joseph. I don't know if you have anything.
No, I've been trying to contact Nick with regards to that's providing support with regards to the community call and things like that. Just waiting for him to kind of respond to me with anything regarding that. And I was speaking to Bear in the back channels with regards to tasks that I can kind of help and plug into with, and I need to message Gideon with regards to marketing, but I understand he's going to be traveling soon. So I'm not sure with regards to him handing off certain tasks while he's kind of gone, who I'll need to speak to with regards to providing support on those type of tasks. And yeah, that's what I have to add, to be honest.
Okay, we can we can see that separately later. Um, next is myself. I have quite a bit of tasks on my plate on this sprint. The reason it's like in a plan A and a plan B. My first priorities are finishing this. So like pretty much closing up the second round of grants. Um, I was hoping to have this done on the past sprint, but you know, the Gitcoin folks took more time than I expected doing the analysis. So I'm hoping that they provide the final analysis this week. And with that information, it shouldn't take more than 1 or 2 days to make the matching boost and make all the reports and all that and send the transactions, etc. So that's sort of my plan A. But anyways, other things that I'm keen to do is just craft like a one page or something on rough timelines and how is it going to look like to reach out to the sponsors and the grantees in advance. Pretty much, I had added I added myself to this task of putting the YGG funding proposal as well, but yeah, I'm happy to support there as well. And the rest of the tasks are pretty much the ones I had on the past sprint that I just moved over to this one as well. Um, the Gitcoin fee, so I added myself here as well, Bear. So Bear is doing the transaction to sort of send the amount out of the coordination team multisig, and I'm going to do the actual bridging and all that on mainnet because they are only receiving funds in mainnet. And yeah, that's pretty much all for me. Let's see. Next is Yutam. Most of them, all of these we already chatted about, right? Yeah. Okay, and then
Hey, Isaac,
mhm.
real quick. I can't remember what happened with this, but we were talking today about doing a grantee outreach plan, like getting on top of that so we know exactly what's got to happen and when. Was that in here or not?
Can you repeat it, please? Can you repeat that?
Yeah, for the next round, for the next grants round, you know, we have like two campaigns basically. One is the donor campaign, donor outreach campaign, and then there's the grantee outreach campaign. And we've talked about like getting on that earlier and what that entails. And I think the idea was to just pull together like a simple plan that just outlines what those steps are. Is that
Oh
in
yeah,
here?
I I added those to my plate. I'm not sure I'll be able to do anything, like to do everything, but um if I cannot move with the payments of the last round, I'll do this 100%.
Oh, okay.
If
That's
that makes
okay. I
sense.
missed it. That was the sponsors one, but there is one there for grantees. Okay, got it.
Yeah, sponsors and mentees. Yeah.
Sorry, missed that. Thanks.
Um, Yep. Um, okay. This is Times are the same. We have already chatted about them. Nate, we chat about a few of these. Not sure if you plan to add anything else.
Nothing immediately. I think there's some one of the things that I wanted to do, especially for the month of October, is to figure out exactly how to kind of track the hours of the events lead role. So that's something that I want to kind of build documentation from, but I think I can push that to next sprint and have it ready by the beginning of October.
What was that you can have on the next screen? Sorry.
Mapping the amount of hours for the events lead to get kind of a good idea of the time it takes for how much events work that we're going to be doing within